you're going through situations, your adversary knows what it is your weakness. I'm telling you to guard yourself with the word of God, to keep yourself in accountability with your spouse and able to move forward so you can have true victory, true dominion, and true power.
And we have to help couples learn how to communicate all over again. They could have been married for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the lines, they just lose that connection in their communication.
Some things you've had to go through, not because God is a horrible God or mad or any of those things, but to show you how strong and powerful and great and mighty that you are.
Here we go. Let's go. I gotta start my high I. So I gotta start there. How are you doing? Let's get this thing going. Let's go. What's up, family? How are you? I'm Christian, and always with my beautiful wife, Lyneesha. We are your marriage restoration coaches, and we thank you for joining us for the Thriving in Love podcast, where we equip married leaders to restore, protect, and maintain a healthy marriage while pursuing their God-given purpose. All right? Today we're going to talk about treating tension in your marriage.
Ooh.
Treating tension in your marriage. All right? Now, usually, we try to start with a story. All right, and a personal story at that. So I didn't want to just go with one perspective, because tension can really, this is something that can fall on anybody.
Yeah.
So I want to go with two scenarios that our listeners and those who are watching can go with, baby. And that's, I want to share about tension that we've had in our relationship. I'll talk from the perspective of sex,
Okay.
but then you can go from your aspect of your acts of service or laundry or whatever situation where the tension has come in with you. So from my point of view, treating tension in your marriage, in our marriage, we've had some tension pertaining to sex, and mostly because I have a high sex drive, and I want it, and there's times when I may have had missed signals, or I thought I communicated or wanted it, or whatever the case may be, it didn't take place, wasn't in the mood. We had a whole lot of things that can kind of go there. So bottom line is, there has been tension in our relationship and our marriage. From my side, I won't speak for all husbands out, because I do realize that some women have a high sex drive, but I'll say that I've had some tension as it relates to sex, all right? And that's been tension in the house. You can feel it. It's no secret, right?
Yeah.
I might get on my side of I have gotten on my side of the bed.
All
You got
the
on
way
your
on your side.
all the way on my side of the bed. For me sometimes, you just want to cuddle is cuddling. I'm like, wait a minute, you touch my leg, you touch me, we ready to go. Are we not going there tonight? Whatever. And the great thing is, for us, we've been able to talk it through because we have strategies in place. But there's a lot of marriages that can't talk through these situations.
Yeah.
So from my side, I'll share my viewpoints from that place. How about you?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's usually around acts of service. That's my love language. So when couples are dealing with various situations, it's usually obvious. It usually comes across some way that somebody's love language isn't being spoken. So for me, it's the acts of service thing. And when I do for the family, I clean, or I, cooking, doesn't really matter too much. But doing laundry is a big one. Like, I hate laundry, but I do it because it needs to be done, right? Mm-hmm. But when I do it, I'm like, I need help. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't always come across that way. So, and at times I think the tension arises because you don't want to keep saying it. You don't want to keep bringing it up, because then you feel like you're nagging and you feel like you're doing this and that. Like, why can't you just get it? Why can't you just see that I need help in this situation? And so the tension rises because you're not getting it the way, or seeing it the way I see it. Okay. And so, yeah.
So we laying a foundation. Hopefully and prayerfully you've been able to identify with either my subject and my tension or Lyneesha's tension, and we're going to go from there, because I think the question this is the question I like us to discuss. All right, so it's, how do you shift the atmosphere in your home when tension is heavy in a household or your marriage? Okay, so like, how are we going to shift this tension? Like, this is the atmosphere. Okay, you can go into a house. I'm a feeler, like I've said before in past podcasts. Yeah. You can go into a house and be like, oh, something's going on in this area. The kids feel it. They don't know why or whatever. But these two scenarios that we have, and even yours as you're watching or listening, it shifts the atmosphere in your household, let alone in your marriage. It's on the person, and you can be that thermostat. And if you hot and you 150 inside, it's 160 in the house, okay? And so we want to know, like, how do we, in simplistic terms, how do I diffuse this tension bomb? Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this. I think that you have to ask the right questions. So we're talking about communication, okay?
Yeah.
So you got to communicate. So you have to ask the right questions, but you have to ask the right questions with the right mindset. The right motives, okay? Yeah. We're going real practical, real simplistic. It's spiritual, it's supernatural, it's practical, it's all those things. But we really want you guys to be able to take not just what we're sharing and say it sounds good. We want you to be able to move forward and give you step-by-step processes. That's why we exist, all right? So with the right mindset, what you talking about, Christian? I'm talking about the right mindset to have, and we're learning and have learned and teach others, is having that servant leading mindset.
Yeah.
All right, that servant leading mindset, okay? When we look at Ephesians chapter 5, that's what we see, right? That love that I have to love. I have to serve you. Christ served the church. He loved the church. I have to be at that point in place. I have to need the servant lead you in that way, washing you with the word. Like, it's that servant mindset, servant leading. I'm leading by serving, okay? Yeah. So I'm not just, because I want sex, I want to go ahead and serve you just to get sex. That's not the mindset and the motive. That can be a reward from that area, but that shouldn't just be my mindset. You know, a healthy marriage is like, I need to totally have a serving, a leading mindset where I desire and I get joy in serving you. Yeah. You get joy and desire in serving me. That way, both of our needs are met. The problem is when I feel like I'm serving, and you ain't even tapped into the reward system, or you ain't tied into serving, and now you serving and ain't getting it, and it's an imbalance. Are y'all with me? Y'all can either comment, email us, however you're viewing this or listening to this, you can let us know with an amen on that one, right? Yeah. So I want you to make sure that you have the servant leading mindset. Do you have anything on the servant leading mindset before I move forward?
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's all about checking the motive first and foremost, because I believe, like, if you are doing something for the sole purpose of getting something in return, your spouse knows it. They can sense it, they can feel it, and it's going to backfire. Like, it's not going to come out the way you thought. And so even that causes tension, because if you go in with the mindset, oh, I'm doing this, and he gonna do X, Y, and Z for me, and they don't, now we got a whole nother problem. Now we're disappointed again. And so don't even set yourself up for that disappointment by going in for the sole purpose of receiving. It's about going in and doing what you can do to make your spouse happy, to make them feel appreciated. Absolutely.
That's power. Listen to what that's saying. That goes back into that motive and that mindset, okay? Like, you truly can, and we've done this before we first started to shift this atmosphere. I can remember years ago, I don't know if you remember this, when I used to go to the Mighty Men of Valor conference year to year, and one year I came home, and let's just say the atmosphere was lit. It was amazing. It was nice. And I had gone away. I didn't have that on my mindset. I came back, I just wanted to share. When I go away, I want to come back and share, because when I advance, I want us to advance. And sharing from there, and I couldn't even get to the area of sharing my advancement because you had just advanced in a different way, but God bless that, right? But the reason what I'm saying is that mindset, you took that mindset to say, he's working on him, which is working on us. Yeah. And as a reward, or just because I love him, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to make sure that it's amazing, that's nice, so forth and so on. And there's been times, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that, but there's just been times when it's just been like a random act. They're like, yo, I'm just thinking about you. This is here. I'll take the laundry, do here, do that, join in with you, whatever the case may be, to go ahead and help those areas. But it's the heart and the mindset and the motive. Because you will set yourself up for frustration if you're only doing to get.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so we don't want you to do that. It's a different mindset to have. All right. So that's the mindset you need to have. All right. So when we give you a quick strategy, so that you can apply this, simple, right? A quick strategy. We're going to teach you 2 questions to ask. Super simple, but it's life changing for you if you go ahead and operate them with the right heart, mindset, and motive. All right, leaders, are y'all with me? Are y'all ready? Let's go then. All right. So first thing is the big ask. I'm calling it the big ask. ASK. No confusion. Okay. That's the big ask. Okay, with a K on it. Ready? So the big ask that we use on a regular basis in this household is 3 words. Y'all ready for it? Are we okay? Question mark. Wait, that's it, Christian? I'm telling you, it's a bless your marriage. All right? It's bless our marriage. So, but this is what I want you to understand with the big ask. You going into the big ask. Big ask. Okay? So you are going into the house, and let's just say you come home from work, and it's just tension. You see your spouse is hot, going, you like, yo, what's going, like, you thinking that, like, what's going on, right? So you don't get offended. Don't come into, just simply help to diffuse that bomb by simply, hey, babe, just, want to know, are we okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are we good? And you got to be aware of that response, because the response is going to tell you.
Be ready for it.
Because the response, and I want to talk from two different perspectives, right? Like, you have to ask with the right motive. That mindset is not just, I'm tired, I'm frustrated. You got an attitude. What's the problem with you? Notice how I asked. I wasn't like, yo, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Or like, what's the problem now? Like, I've been working all day. It's a mindset. Look, I don't know how the day was. I'm seeing the atmosphere is a little whatever. I don't know with the kids. I don't know. But I just want to know, are we okay?
Yeah.
Like, see how I asked that? Or if you listen how I asked that, look with those motives and mindset. The mindset is we're a team. I might have came home from work. I might be stressed out. I might have this, whatever the case may be as well. But I want to put myself aside and I want to ask you, are we okay? Now, for the one who is, I could say the tension carrier.
Yeah.
I need you to be honest as well, though. I need you to be at the point in place and respond in an honest but respectful way.
Yeah.
Okay? So if something if the problem is between you and your spouse, then I'm going to need you to release that in a loving and respectful way. Mm-hmm. You can say, yes, I have some frustrations. Give me some time to process. Because, I don't want to communicate in a disrespectful manner or way. But if you don't mind, maybe before or after dinner, whatever the case may be, let's talk about some things.
Yeah.
See how I responded in that area? I want you to be aware of those, the right mindset and motive. You got to be honest in a respectful manner. You can't just shut down. You can't just say no. You can't just do it. You just got to be like, look, I'm processing. I'm doing what I need to do because about the team moving forward, okay? Going from that point in place. All right, so that big ask, are we okay? But we want you to also ask with the right motive. We want you to know if you're the tension carrier, then you got to be at that point in place to be honest and release that tension, right? Yeah. You got to process. During that time, you're not withholding because you want to get back at them.
Right.
You're praying during that time, right?
Yeah.
You're doing your part, right? And if you who are asked the question, you waiting for the front, you're preparing your heart and mind as well, because it's something that I want to talk to you with at the third point. But beautiful, do you have any thoughts on that, or you want to go into the second question?
Yeah. So just on that, one thing I wanted to add is this question is not only helps to begin the conversation, but it can help to alleviate tension in the fact that the problem may have nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we assume because our spouse is acting or looking a certain way, they appear like they're upset, they appear frustrated. We often assume it's towards us.
Right.
And so that anger and that tension builds even stronger because we assume you got a problem with me.
Yeah.
And we don't ask the question. When you ask the question, sometimes it's like, okay, cool. It's something you're dealing with. Okay, which leads to the second question we need to ask. How can I help?
Yeah. Right?
How can I help you through this situation? You've expressed that, hey, I had a hard day at work. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just trying to think through what happened at work today so that I can be present.
Right.
Give me some time. Cool. How can I help you? You need me to take the kids for a walk. You need me to take them out the house. What do you need? Like, being willing to ask and genuinely ask that question. If it is a problem between you two, again, how can I help? What can I do? I didn't realize what I said affected you that way. How can I do it differently next time? Like, we have to learn how to be able to come together and work as a team. And that's where that question comes in. How can I help? Is me saying, all right, my teammate is hurting. The team is hurting.
Yeah.
What can I do now to jump in there and alleviate some of that pressure? Even if I cause the pressure, especially if I cause the pressure.
Yeah.
What can I do to now help alleviate that pressure so we can get back out there and win this game together?
That's dope. You guys are listening to that. Like, how can I help? That's whether it has to do with the problem or the tension has to do with the marriage, or it has to do with the ministry, or it has to do with the kids, whatever the case may be, you got to be willing to receive what that is. Mm-hmm. And what can I do to help is powerful within that.
Yeah.
But what can I do? What can I do to help is a setup, right?
Yeah.
Because the third thing and the final thing we'll share is it's a follow through. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever their response is, you got to put it into action.
Yep.
Okay. So if you had that long day, you like, yo, I'm going through these steps. look, are we okay? And she say, oh yeah, absolutely. Let me just tell you, the kids have been crazy. And she start going, blah, 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 blah. And you like, oh man, I'm over. You got to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Be attentive. Listen to what's being said. Listening, not just to have her or him relieve themselves from that tension, because just listening can help them relieve the tension. But also if they're saying, all right, the kids, then you're like, yo, well, all right, how can I help?
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, I need she might say, I don't know, I just need some time. Cool. I'll take the kids. Go get your shower, bath, whatever you want to do. Or if it is something within you too, then got to think about that. Is this the right time to talk about it? Might not be the right time to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So we got to be aware of those things, but you have to have the mindset that whatever is going to be released from the person that is dealing with the tension, whatever is going to be released, you got to be at that point in place to say, I'm signing up to help with the solution.
Yeah.
Not just listen to the solution, but I'm going to do something about the solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can be able to talk about it and do that. So whether, again, going back, if it's the laundry or the acts of service, then I have to be at the point in place of like, all right, well, what can I do to help? And being real within that, and then I have to commit to the process. She can say, look, I'm not even asking you to fold it by yourself. Just you see me folding, join me, talk. Let's go from there, and we do it together. I just need help. Okay, I heard what you said. And then I go back to doing my thing. No, that's going to cause more tension. And that bomb we're trying to diffuse is going to actually explode.
Yeah.
If it comes to the sexual side, and you're dealing with that, and I come out as a man, it's probably gonna be hard anyway. Why are you upset? I ain't getting that last night. I mean, come on, it just don't sound manly or anything like that. But the truth is, you can come into the area and be like, you know what? Be honest with you, and this is how we are in our relationship. You got to get to that point. I understand it, but it's like, look, like, yo, man, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wanting it, right? I want you, whatever the case may be. And last night, I don't know if I missed the cues or whatever the case may be, but your boy got just left by itself.
Yeah.
And whatever. Then you talk about that. I'm sharing that. She gotta get ready to restore the relationship in that way. Come on, y'all. Are y'all with me within that? And we gotta be able to talk through these things, but being prepared. What do you do to kind of help? So listen, I want you to be able to have that heart and mindset to realize that it requires you to follow through. If you just do these 3 things that we're sharing, it will relieve the tension in your house. How do we know? Because we coach others to do it, but we do it on a regular basis, okay? It requires you to come out of self and have that servant leading mindset to say, you know what? It's not just about me, it's about we. And let's go ahead and do what we need to do so that we can move forward. We are a team.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to thrive in love.
Yeah.
All right?
Absolutely. What
you got, baby?
Yeah, I mean, you might be listening and you're like, yeah, Christian, yeah, Lyneesha, like that sounds great. Like we've been trying that, or I've been trying that. It still don't work. We still can't get on the same page. Like it's just, I think we're beyond these tips. Amazing tips. We know they work. We use them. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, and we understand that sometimes couples have just gotten so far in that situation where there's too much hurt, there's too much disappointment, that you are now having a hard time getting back on track, getting back in alignment with one another and with God, right? So we have offered, and we open up the opportunity, guys, for you to have a communication strategy call with us where we can help you identify where that breakdown is, what's going on there, what are your differences, and how can we help you guys kind of bring them into perspective and bring them to the point where you're able to now function effectively and work through this tension, right? So if that's you, you're like, man, we need help. We can't do this. We've been trying to do it on our own and it ain't working. Like, shoot us an email, connect@thrivinginlove.com. You can even comment here on the podcast and we'll get back to you and we'll connect with you so that we can give you the information you need to get that communication strategy call. Guys, we want you to thrive. And if the tension is too thick and you guys can't see eye to eye, there's no way you're going to get to the point that God has called you to get to. You're not going to be able to be that power couple that God has destined for you to be if you guys have a difficult time working through these smaller issues. Yeah. So let us help you. Let's get on that call. Doesn't cost you anything. Shoot us an email, let us know, and we will definitely get you guys set up with that.
Let's get that email again. It's connect@thrivinginlove.com.
Yep.
Okay, connect@thrivinginlove.com. All right, you done? I'm done. That means that we are done. All right. So with that being said, guys, remember, when a husband and wife team is totally committed to God, a proven system, and each other, there is a 100% chance for success.
Yeah.
So we want to work with you. We're praying with you. We thank you for joining us again, and we will see you next episode.